It's become rather standard that I talk about the manliness of champions on my stream or on my videos. It would be easy to say that I have a ranking system for manliness, and I will present it to you in this video. As to what my qualifications are on this matter, I eat lots of meat, I pay all my bills, I tie my own shoes, and I watch JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I believe I am qualified for judging champion manliness. Now you may ask, why is manliness important? Well, when you're a manly man, you don't have to answer questions like that. Lesser men have to simply accept your word as gospel. One of the manliest and hottest champions of League of Legends is Brand. Not only does he sport a muscled shirtless physique, but he's singed off his useless male nipples as well. Brand is a type of manly badass that plays red in Magic the Gathering and runs an old school land destruction deck with non-stop burn instead of running a pussy ass blue deck like Xerath probably does. I bet Xerath even runs Isochron Scepter and imprints a goddamn counterspell like you, Alex, you son of a bitch. This is why nobody plays with you anymore. Darius is also an uberly manly man that puts other manly men to shame. He's the type of man that got together with his friends to play Dungeons & Dragons and was told he'd have to be the tank. Instead, he looked at his homie straight in the eyes and told him he has no time for that wimpy shit, and locked in Fighter with Monkey's Grip, and then told him to suck it. For the uninitiated, Monkey's Grip allows a player to wield a weapon of a larger size as if it were a smaller one in exchange for not being able to use a shield ever again. Darius even wields the two-handed weapon in one hand to free up his left to bitch slap enemies in between whacking them, thus basically making Monkey's Grip pointless. It's a statement he makes to his enemies that he doesn't even need a proper build to own them. Not only that, Darius is also the player who put all his stat points straight into strength. Wisdom, intelligence, charisma, fortitude, and dexterity, all of them dumb stats. Even though he needs 8 points to raise his strength by 1 more, he still does it by draining charisma even further, which is why his laugh consists of just a ha ha ha. It doesn't matter since his opponents are already a big joke to him anyways. Killing your opponent isn't a prerequisite for being manly as fuck. Hell, you don't even need to be a man to be manly, which is why Leona is one of the manliest badasses in League. For the illiterate, her story is basically that she comes from a tribe of sun worshippers who believe an ancient ancestor of theirs wielded the power of the sun. Leona grew up being one of the best fighters of the tribe, but refused to kill anyone. She was fine with just emasculating her opponents and metaphorically crushing their balls. Her parents were bothered by the fact that she was merciful and that she seemingly had a soul, because it was simply not the way of her clan. And because she was a redhead. When it came for the tribe's coming of age trial where 2 teens have to murder each other, she flat out refused to murder another homie. She was to be put to death, but then, by the luck of the Irish, the motherfucking sunlight saved her. The Solari and the sun basically said, "Yo, we judge this ginger worthy," and the broad that defied her tribe was given the powers of the sun. Even in game, her entire gameplay revolves around being the first one in and the last one out. You have actual men who look like they're manly but run off at a moment's notice and leave GB to die. If she can look unmanly yet be more manly than men who are supposed to be manly, then she's definitely one of the manliest of all. Now for another one based on lore. Trundle is so fucking manly he convinced his entire warband that the chief of the clan should be decided by who has the biggest and most powerful club. If this isn't a metaphor about having a big gigantic dick, then I don't know what is. I mean, he already summons a giant phallus onto the field already. He stole a giant magical piece of ice from Lissandra and chose to make it his new club. He ran back to his clan and presented his new massive club, and the chief, all shocked and inspired, was then bashed to death with it. Trundle basically obtained a new giant dick, displayed it to his crew, and then bashed his chief to death with his phallus. After that, he was crowned king of the trolls, and it was all thanks to his giant cock. So who is the manliest man in League? It's fucking Varus, that's who. The dude took the powers of evil he was guarding in order to avenge his fallen homies and corrupted himself in the process. He's bending evil to his will so he can carry out vengeance. Not only that, but look at him. Ionians are known for their grace, elegant colors, art and shit, but Varus said fuck all that noise and chose to go without pants. Sure, you can say that corruption took his clothes, but if that's the case, then he would have just worn other clothing after. And no, you can't argue that maybe he just couldn't find any either. If Lee Sin, the blind fucking monk, could find pants to wear after having his eyes explode, then Varus, the not blind archer, could find some too. Instead, he picked up some cloth and chose to wear it as a scarf rather than on his waist just to let his dick get some air. You cannot prove he didn't have pants on when he was uncorrupted either. He was a pantsless guardian of evil. So basically, you have this naked albino archer with dark corrupted powers seeking out the Nox's armies in order to avenge his fallen allies. A man with no shame, only courage, dedication, conviction, and spiky corrupted pubic hair is worthy of being called the manliest man of League of Legends.